Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone. We are now going to call to order the City of Gilroy Library Commission. And we're going to start with introductions. And we have Valerie Lowry, our new commissioner. Would you like to introduce yourself and say a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I prefer to go by Cassandra, and I am very grateful for the opportunity to come on board and was looking forward to this. So I'm excited to be here. I had a wonderful walk around with Cassandra. So she shared with me so much. So I'm glad that to be a part of the commission.
And we're happy to have you too, Cassandra. And now we're going to move to roll call.
Yes, Chair Coverson Baxter,
Present.
Vice Chair Nushabadi, and Commissioner Lau.
Present.
And now we will move to Secretary's report.
The Library Commission agenda was posted online and posted in the City Hall kiosk on February 7th, 2020.
Thank you. And now we'll move to approval of minutes from Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. Item 5.1. If anyone has any comments about the minutes? Okay, so we have a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
So the approval of minutes is approved with a vote of 3-0.
I
Pass.
should say like all those in favor.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Aye.
Any opposed?
Any opposed?
No. Okay, so motion passes.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you.
Mhm.
And now we're gonna move to approval of the agenda. Okay, so we have a motion to approve our current agenda for today, and do we have a second? Second, okay, do we have any opposed? No. All right, so our motion to approve the agenda passes 3-0.
Great.
And now we're going to move to our library staff recognition, Daniel Nguyen, our passport clerk.
Let me go grab him.
And wonderful.
Yeah.
And
You good time to meet him.
perfect. So while she's grabbing him, did you want to say anything about the passport process and how it's going while we're waiting?
I'd be happy to. So this is our newest location to add the passport acceptance facilities. We find it to be very convenient for people because we have richer hours than most post office. Bringing as you know, families need to bring both parents with their children. And so having our team here available makes it very easy and convenient for them. So we're really excited to add Gilroy as one of these services here in your community. And then I'll let Sandra introduce that.
So this is Daniel DeWitt.
Daniel, it's a pleasure seeing you and meeting you officially.
As you tell, Commissioner Baxter is a avid reader. She knows our staff here very well. Daniel has worked, I believe, in this location or for the Gilroy Library since 2008.
What?
So
Hey, clap for that.
someone who has really taken the job of library service and the commitment to community very seriously, who has worked his way up through the ranks from extra help. He started as extra help, yeah. So started as extra help, worked as a page, worked as a clerk, and is now joining us in this really special opportunity. So I'll let him continue more, but we're really glad to have Daniel. He has brought really great solutions to things that have come up as we've done our kind of inaugural year of doing passport services. He has wonderful new ideas on how to do all the background work, how to do it more efficiently, and also his commitment to community service and professionalism in that aspect has been really wonderful. So meet Daniel and he can talk more about what he does and yeah, go for it.
It's really great serving this community.
like to provide excellent service to our patrons. Always just nice and just really excited to be there. It just makes it really reciprocate that the emotion that they bring into the office. You know, it's a very stressful thing to get your passport, but you know,
Yeah.
it's my job to use the situation, make them feel comfortable about.
Wow.
So, just my little 2 cents there.
I have a couple of questions. What is the passport thing? 3 questions. So can people also put the application in Spanish or is it
It only comes in English.
only in English? And how many passports do you deal with every day?
So I see roughly 12 people a day.
What is that?
Wow.
They have 30-minute time
Yeah.
slots for 6 hour service, no, 30 minutes per.
The other question, if I search online for passports or library appears on one of the locations that I can go to, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And what were you doing before this passport only started a year ago, right?
It's almost exactly 6 months. 6 months ago, we
6
did
months,
the,
okay.
yeah.
And what were you doing before?
I was a library clerk before that, so
Okay.
I was assisting customers. So customer service translates very easily over from one job to the other.
So do you like this new position?
I do. It's very rewarding. Help. I see a lot of families. I help people go on vacation. Yeah. So yeah, it is really rewarding. I see people all kinds of different backgrounds and different stories of why they.
Very good.
The job is always rewarding.
Thank you for your service.
Yes,
you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
for your service, absolutely.
And Daniel set up, there's a kids corner in
Very
there.
family friendly.
Wow.
The coloring sheet was saying that, yeah.
Cassandra saw it, you know, we have an art, wall of art gallery of what everybody's done while they were waiting, so. And again, just making it a welcoming environment during something that could be pretty stressful, so.
That's
Thanks
really
again, Daniel,
awesome.
thanks for meeting
And,
everybody.
Thank you.
and, I want to say, also, thank you so much for serving our community. And especially in a time like this,
Yeah.
where some places aren't even giving out passports anymore. So just for holding that space. And is there anything that you feel you need in this position or in that area?
I
Resources? Yeah,
have all the tools I need,
okay.
staff in the county are just really supportive, other branches of libraries.
Yeah.
If I need help, I call them, they're always responsive. And
Oh, that's
I feel like I have the tools
awesome.
I need to do the best job I can.
Oh, well, we're so proud that you're here, and if you're ever free and you're not working, or if you are, come join the library commission. Or come to a meeting, tell others about
Down the road.
it. Okay.
Daniel, when Cassandra mentioned last time that we have now a passport office here, I was so happy. This is the best thing that happened.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, it's my
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, very good.
thank you.
nice. One more hand. Daniel.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
Daniel. Have a
Thanks,
good
Daniel.
evening.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think you have a appointment at 10:30.
Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna get to new business.
Okay, so it's the selection of the chair and the vice chair of the library commission. So this is always done at the beginning of the calendar year, because we have new commissioners coming on, old commissioners going off. And so this is your opportunity to select. You can nominate yourself, you can nominate someone else to be the chair and the vice chair. The chair, as you can see, runs the meeting. They are also kind of the figurehead, the representative of the library commission. So when it's time for the annual presentation to the city council, they'll be the one to make the presentation. The vice chair, their only role is to step in if the chair is not here. Now, in this particular case, if there's no chair, there's no meetings.
Another person on our
Yeah.
commission.
The vice chair really has ceremonial left. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave it there.
Move
Yes.
Victoria to chair again.
I second it.
Oh. Well, I would love to chair our commission again, and I would like us to also get another commissioner.
So let's just start with the chair. then
Yeah, that's
end of
fine.
the commission.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, this is for okay. Okay, do you want to vote real quick on that? All those in favor?
Can I vote? I didn't.
Yeah, you can vote.
Oh, hi.
So motion passes 3-0, and then for vice chair.
I nominate Said.
I second.
Does Saeed accept the nomination?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's-
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
No opposed? Okay, so it passes 3-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adam. Do we have any public, staff, now we're gonna have staff report.
Yeah, and there is no public. Okay, so, for the next item, if you go to the next, okay, so if you open up your meeting packet,
Yes.
okay, I know it's quite hefty there. But the actual, just the staff reports, okay, so, yeah, so Cassandra, yeah, so then after the agenda is the minutes, and then the first staff report, which was the chair and the vice chair.
Mhm.
And then the one after that, it's a little longer. It's
Okay.
called City of Gilroy's fiscal year 26-27 budget development.
Yeah.
So, Victoria and Saeed, you may recall this.
Mhm.
This is your opportunity to provide input into the city's upcoming 2-year budget cycle.
Okay.
So, the budget, cycle works, it goes into effect July 1.
Mhm.
So right now, we're in fiscal year 2025.
Mhm.
Starting July 1, this gets confusing, you're in fiscal year 2026.
Mhm.
So the city is going to be adopting its budget, and they ask all of the commissions, not just library, but all the commissions for input into the budget
For 2026.
and 2027.
Okay.
Yeah, because they only do this every 2 years.
Oh,
Okay. So what there's also a letter here, which will, yeah, here it is. I almost said. Oh, okay. All right, well, hold on, actually, I'll get to the letter in a moment, but let me just tell you real quick. Okay, so what what you're being asked to do is you're being asked to provide some input. So if you recall 2 years ago, one of the items that you had recommended to be in the budget was training,
Mhm.
and you ended up using it, right? Where did you go?
I went to the ALA conference, which was fabulous.
Yes, yes.
And
where was
everybody
it?
said that.
Was it in Gilroy?
No, it was in San Diego.
So to send Chair Cumberson Baxter to San Diego, it required a flight,
Yeah.
right? It required registration,
Yeah.
required hotel,
Yeah.
per diem meals.
Yeah.
And so there's a cost to it,
Yeah.
right? And so the city, 2 years ago said, yes, that's fine. We
Yeah.
will send a commissioner for training purposes
Yeah.
that has to do with being a library commissioner.
Yes.
And so that worked out well.
Yeah, I
If-
would say 100%.
Yeah, so if this commission, for example, wanted to do something similar, they can. Because again, it's already been done once, so there's already a past precedent. You
Yeah.
know, the city council is in favor, although it's a different council, but nevertheless, they have been very supportive of these types of trainings in the past.
Absolutely.
If there is something else you're interested in, you can request that as well. They have said no to commission requests before, not saying that they're gonna say no to this. But
Yes,
I'm just saying, it just depends what it is and what the cost is.
absolutely. May I ask a question, Adam?
Yes. And the
Um,
letter that I'm referring to is in your packet. It should have been right behind
Right
the
behind.
staff report, but
Um, a question is, would requesting maybe $200, and I'm thinking of just refreshments and some material, to host a library commission get to know us info night here at the library, where we would provide some refreshments and maybe a brochure or something about the commission to recruit more commissioners, and or to just let the public know, we want to hear you come once to our meetings. Would that be something that you think council would?
well, let me ask you this. What are the costs? What are the hard costs behind that?
I would think no more than $200, because the library would probably let us use a space.
Absolutely.
And then we would probably have waters, I don't know, some refreshments. You guys know about how much food would cost or whatever if you use.
Let me ask you this. Are there any significant costs? to this?
Significant. I wouldn't think there are.
Okay. And the reason why I say that is if it's not significant, we probably could work with the library
To do that. Okay, perfect.
just to keep you in mind, I mean, the training, for example,
Yeah,
it was what, $3,000 or $4,000. That would
Yeah.
be considered a significant
significant.
cost.
Okay.
Yeah. This, if, what, maybe $100?
Yeah, I would say it would be, it would just be some marketing and a space and some refreshments.
Yeah. Now, what you could do is incorporate that into your next work plan, which we're gonna get to momentarily.
Okay, that'd be good. Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
Save
Okay.
that idea.
Save that. for the
Is there
plan.
anything else that comes to mind?
Madam Chair, I have a suggestion. I would like to see more arts in the library. Like a portrait of significant people in the community, historic people who have contributed to the city of Gilroy or even the bus. It has also people who have a significant role in the community. So it will create a more artistic environment for the library and we can place in various places. That's my suggestion.
And it would be like, local artists who have done some work and that we would,
Not necessarily local artists, people who have played a significant role in the community area, or local artists, whichever, either way is fine. So that's my thinking.
and we would have a space here for that. Like, are you thinking like in one
Yeah,
particular
for example,
area?
The library would decide on that, but when you come to the library, you have the significant thing. So you have a sense, you get the more sense of the community, that
I like that idea of making it,
appreciation of,
right.
and also it's a piece of art. Art is always attractive to people, so it's just really more for the library as well.
So we do have a partnership with Sixth Street Gallery where we've done, they've done programs here and helped us with our Dolores Huerta exhibit installation. So it's something to consider, maybe again, as part of your work plan, if there's local artists that maybe you'd want to, put up for selection or, if you knew any local artists or you could source any local artists to exhibit, that's something we can consider.
I'm thinking about something more permanent. So the art piece or the bust or the statue, whatever, or the portrait or some painting that more permanent nature that we can beautify the wall of the library or the corner, whatever that kind of thing. So becomes as well as being a library also becomes something like a art center.
Nice.
And for it, there's some cost involved, so if we can, my suggestion is allocate some budget for them.
Okay, well, let me read to you just the criteria. So we would need a description of the items. So I think we can say that comes in. The justification for the request and how it fits within your board commission work plan. So you would have to somehow incorporate this into your work plan, which currently it is not. And then an estimated cost. What would the cost be? And so that's something else to take into consideration. And let me just put this out there. It might be something where you study and get community input as to what type of art people want to see, right? Because it's open to the community.
Nice.
And then at that point, you could then zero in on a particular art piece and then find out how much that costs. Because at this point, because tonight you have to, because you don't meet again until after the deadline of the budget input, you really have to have some sort of hard costs associated with it. So it might be more, you could look into adding it to your work plan and doing like a study, kind of an exploration, and then perhaps in the next budget cycle, you'll have more information and you'll be able to provide a specific cost, associated with the items that you're interested in bringing. And keep in mind too, the library is going to be undergoing a major renovation, which will certainly trigger the need for public.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there, listening to you, is there a place in the library where we have like a wall of community influencers or like plaques, like, we have don't we have benches out there where you could buy a bench?
Yes,
So do we have
I actually
anything,
oversee that.
so do we have anything like that in the library that could be like a community wall of influence or something that we can work through it later, but that means we would have money in the budget to buy the plaque every year or whatever over time.
I mean, as of right now, no, but I think that is something that you could look into.
Okay.
Again, maybe incorporating it into your work plan and also with this renovation that's coming up, a major renovation,
Okay,
there might be an opportunity to add that
okay.
or incorporate that somehow.
What do you think of that,
That's a very good idea.
incorporating it?
Actually, this would be a great opportunity as they do renovation, so we can probably push some allocation, some budget like $5,000, $10,000 for artistic. Or video or painting or
Mhm.
how do we do that?
How do you do?
So when they do the renovation, make requests to the law.
Well, during, and I don't, remind me again how far you are along in the renovation. Have you done the community outreach yet?
Yes.
You have,
Mhm.
okay. Are there construction plans? Not yet.
No.
There are preliminary
Yes.
plans,
Okay.
but we're still very much at the beginning and having done a few of these before,
Yes.
I would say it absolutely is at a point where work that you all would do and investigating, again, is it part of donation? Is it
Yeah.
local artist call out? I will say it's a little more expensive than $5,000. It will range
Yeah.
between 50 and
Yeah,
100
okay, you're
typically
right.
for an installation.
Yeah.
So maybe, I think that's a
Yeah.
great idea of adding it to your work plan and then knowing that's coming is certainly something that we can consider during the renovation plans to
Yeah.
identify spaces
For-
or
yeah,
areas that could be
yeah.
an opportunity for.
Yeah. Do you see the Passport Place forever being here and growing?
I see this as an opportunity for us to really examine what services are now and where they're going.
Going, cause, yeah, okay,
So, no, I would not say anything is
It's- okay.
exactly that's gonna
This
be
is-
exactly
okay,
the
so-
same. There'll
okay.
be elements that will change to,
Okay.
again, to grow and, as things kind of are evolving.
yeah, okay,
I think last time I mentioned that I'd like to see the library in the center of activity that we are making for the community.
yeah,
I think that would make it happen is the artistic.
I think that's yeah, I think we all agree with that, that thought, yeah. Okay, so it sounds like we want to add that to our work plan and
Which we'll get to in a moment.
okay,
Yes,
so,
it's the next budget,
okay.
it's the next staff. So for this one, for budget development, is there interest in requesting funds for a training again, whether it's
Yeah.
ALA or CLA?
I would say yes, what do you all think?
So we go
Yeah.
back to your recommendation for the new school.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I went back to my job at the county office. I said, everybody needs to go. So every time I see my executive director, I'm like, are you taking us to the end?
So it costs $2,200.
Okay.
To go to San Diego for ALA. So you could request, just as an example, maybe $2,500 a year, just to be on the safe side.
Okay,
And then if it doesn't get spent, it's just, you'll have that, you'll be able to go, if you don't go in 2020, if you don't go for this calendar year,
yeah,
you could go the following.
Yeah.
Because the money
Okay.
will be there, as long as it's not twice within the same fiscal year.
yeah, okay. So what do you all think of that? That's something that for sure we want. The other items that we're thinking about are in the work plan, so they wouldn't be a budget. This has to be something that's significant with the justification that aligns with our mission as a library commission. Is there anything that you all think beside training that we need as a recruiting efforts could go on our work plan?
Your idea also was good. information.
Yeah, yeah,
You said
that's.
those-
Cause it's not a lot of money.
Yes.
We have to do something significant, like. Is it significant to get, two T-stands made, like at a sign shop for the Gilroy Library Commission?
I'm sorry, it's two what?
Two, I don't know what you call them, but two, I don't, maybe okay, so I've seen these kind of signs that you like pull up. And they say, oh, say, you know, blah, 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 the
Oh, yes.
library commission,
Like, don't you have?
and they fold really easy.
Yes.
But, I would love to see something that's colorful and visual and mark that, like maybe two of those signs. And I think they cost probably $200 or $300 each.
It just depends on what you get printed, right?
Yeah.
So if it says, you know, library commission tonight or
Tonight is good, and then
Something
we
like
could have a
that,
little, yeah,
something
Just,
to
just
consider.
so I can look it up.
yeah. I
I'm just
think,
curious, because I have no idea how much they cost.
and they're easy to store and
Yeah.
put away.
Yeah, collapsible, I think they're.
And I've seen tabletop ones, so if we have like a tabletop one and maybe a long one. And we could also help, that if we ever go out and do outreach for the commission, we could have the tabletop sign. And maybe one sign could say, ask us about the library commission. And then one can just be library commission today. I don't know. We'd have to work, or you guys could work with, the printing people. Does the library commission have a logo?
No, it does not.
Does Parks and Rec have a logo?
No, I don't think any of the commissions have their own logo.
Okay, so it would be something like this. It would be like City of Gilroy Library Commission.
Yeah,
Yeah, fine.
I'm
With
just
some
trying to get
kids and
an
books.
idea of how much it costs. I mean,
Yeah,
it says they start at $100-ish, but then again,
the printing and all of that, yeah, and the add-on.
shipping, you know, how
Uh-huh.
the size, so say you were to get the biggest one.
I would
it's
say
made out
like
of
a,
Vinyl.
Yeah.
I mean, it says $140. I wouldn't consider that a significant cost.
no, okay,
You know.
so to get those made, we'd have to get approved by, where do we get the money from?
Well, if it's not a significant amount, then, like our recreation division could cover the cost.
Well, thank you, generous recreation.
But,
What if, I think that two signs would be like $600. Is that significant?
$600, yeah, but again, I'm just looking at this site right here, and I mean, if you were to get the biggest sign, and it's
The
quite
one that
large,
pulls thing,
yeah,
it pulls up, how much is that?
$140.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
If
not,
you were to get two, and I don't know if you need two, it's $277.
oh, yeah, so that's,
I can ask to see is, should we include this? But
Yeah,
I just
maybe.
don't think it would be.
do you think that they'd like to know that we're thinking about marketing tools for the library commission? Would that be something, because I think in our purpose, it's to also let the community know that we exist.
Yeah. I think if you start with one, we can see how it goes, and then
Okay.
if you see a need for another one, we could always buy another.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I would not put that in here.
Okay, we're gonna put that in there. So do you guys, this is our opportunity to ask the city council for money for significant things that align with our work that we think is gonna. And it could be having a guest speaker come and do a training for us as commissioners and to help us be more productive.
I'd like to be guided by expense.
Yes,
Perhaps solution.
I mean, I think it's really wonderful that you all even considered going to our professional conference. I think when I speak to other librarians, the group of librarians from all across the kind of Bay Area. When I mention that, they're always very, wow, your commission came, they paid for it, they were able to, you know, kind of just experience the wider range of librarianship. So they really enjoyed, you know, that you guys have considered that and it was, you know, approved and paid for.
Absolutely.
So, in terms of trainings, I mean, I know the county provides a lot of great trainings, but maybe we can consider, so we do ones on like, and even through, the city, we have really great ones on restorative justice. There are really great ones on, you know, we're doing one called PAVE. That's kind of about, you know, how we may ensure really strong, diverse, really great working environments and how do we support each other. So there's just, maybe even those that kind of
Yeah.
fall under, it's not necessarily that they have a cost associated with it,
Okay.
because a lot of them are free to, I wouldn't say not city employees, but a lot of our community-based organizations attend, and I don't believe there's a charge for those. So,
Do you ever, is there ever, like when you're doing team building or something that the commissioners can be a part of and we pay for the speaker that comes? Do you guys, would you all be interested in something like that?
I mean, we're kind of a,
Are you,
you're a very, a lean bunch, you know, there's three, so
yes. we're
I don't
hoping to
know
be
if it's like,
Yeah,
bringing a presenter is, but if there's a
Okay.
way to have you join us for certain things, that might be a possibility. I don't know.
Like they just had an event on February 1st.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no need for money for that. So go ahead, sir.
What about ask for participation in the conference for two commissioners? Would that work?
You could request, yeah, you could request for two. So instead of 2,500, we could request 5,000. And the worst they'll say is,
No,
no, we'll just do one.
Okay, so if you have, this is the commission, when we ask for three, we ask for three and then see where we get.
You know what? I would say, Adam, and I didn't
Yes.
come prepared for that, I apologize. The California Library Association is happening in October. Don't quote me on that. It's less expensive. It's Riverside, so ALA is being held in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So it costs,
California.
you know, so
Yeah.
going to Riverside, for instance, would probably cost less if they came back and city council only gave you
Yeah.
that. So maybe if you just put it under conference
Uh-huh.
experience,
That's
maybe
it.
you could pick a bucket and we could help you. Because the other piece of training is, I think all of you very much serve as advocates for the library as we need more and more. And the Library Association in our state also has kind of a friends and supporters arm.
Yes.
Who is actually headed up by a past county librarian of the district of years ago. So that is also another organization. I think it's $25 to join something that I will get that name for you. And that also might be a good resource for you all, to, again, you know, in your work and
I
what
like that.
information
It's a
might be
membership.
helpful.
It's a membership. I like that.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Oh, and they says only $25.
Yes,
Yes.
so it's
Oh,
very,
I think
very
they have-
reasonable.
Okay.
Meetings, I think they have quarterly meetings or something.
Wow, thank you so much. Okay, so it sounds like,
I moved,
Okay.
ask budget for three conference training.
okay, So-
We'll see how much.
Okay, well, I like Jennifer's idea because she's saying you could ask for three.
Yeah.
Which would be about $7,500.
yeah,
Or you could send one person and spend 3,000 or 4,000. You know,
yeah,
depending on who wants to go. You
right.
know, so this way you have some flexibility. So we can call it, as she put it, conference experience.
Conference experience.
Yeah.
So we're gonna ask for 7,500
But
And-
not designated for one thing.
for not,
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
So the intent is to send everyone, but if
Yeah.
not everyone can go.
Yes,
Because we never know when these things are happening.
absolutely.
Where they're happening.
Yeah,
you maybe send two, or you send one, because the price could fluctuate depending on where.
Absolutely, because
I think they go back and forth ALA, because maybe next year it'll be in Phoenix.
yeah.
It's a
Can
different.
it be in San Jose?
Well, they just did San Diego. so-
Yeah, that's true. They probably don't do San Jose. Adam, would the membership go in here or not?
If it's $25.
No.
We'll
Well, okay, very good.
yeah, all right, I'll move. What, I guess.
Okay, so $7,500 conference experience, and we'll write something up.
Okay.
Okay, so Saeed is motioning. Is there a second?
Yeah.
And as Jennifer mentioned, CLA is our California kind of version of that, and it's really nice because it's very focused on what's going on in California, and there's lots of things that ALA is really great for people to kind of see what we're doing, but for us to gain a lot more depth of knowledge and network with the people who you may be even just able to see in person or meet again. CLA is a really great opportunity.
That's awesome.
Okay, so all those in favor?
I,
Okay, motion passes 3-0. Okay, I'm looking at the packet and it looked like it got a little jumbled, so just stay with me here. So if you go to the
Okay.
next staff report, this one is to adopt a new work plan. Okay,
Yes.
so what's gonna happen is the budget input, which you just discussed,
yes.
and the work plan are going to be submitted together to the city council.
That's correct.
Okay, as is all of the commissions. There's 9
Mhm.
commission bodies. They're all gonna have an opportunity to weigh in on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will proceed here. Okay, so for the library commission work plan, so as you can see here on this staff report under background, there's 4 bullet points. And each of those bullet points represents an item from your previous work plan,
Mm-hmm.
right? Actually, technically it's your current, because it expires June 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can just kind of quickly go through it. Review and provide feedback on the Santa Clara County library system regarding library services and programs offered at the Gilroy location,
Mhm.
which you of course always do. Participate in the annual CLA or ALA conference, which
Mhm.
obviously you did. Promote the commission's purpose and library system to increase interest among prospective applicants to serve as commissioners, which you are doing, and you can build on. And then, of course, provide recommendations to the city administrator and city council regarding potential capital improvements to the library's facility, with the approximately $5 million available for facility upgrades. And currently we are in that process.
Mm-hmm.
So that is your current work plan. You can roll over, actually, if you want, all of these items, because none of them have a beginning and an end date. These are all items that you can easily add to your next work plan. You could start fresh if you want, and eliminate all these and start with something new. Or you could start with these and then maybe add something else to it. Just keep something in mind. You only meet on average 5 times a year.
That's true.
Yeah. So if whatever you add on here, you're most likely then going to have to execute outside of these meetings,
Right.
right? Because there's only so much time at these meetings that you have to work on these
Right.
items. So just keep something like that.
I had asked, why is that schedule? I wasn't, Vince was going to get that answer for me. Why do we only meet 5 times?
Historically, the library actually just used to meet. So every commission meets a different amount of times a year. For example, there is a commission that meets quarterly. There are some commissions that meet twice a month. It just depends on how much work there is for the commission to have and to justify having a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is nothing to really accomplish at a meeting, then there's no need for the commission to meet. I had this almost recently with the Parks and Rec Commission. There really was nothing for them that was new items on the agenda, ready to cancel it. But then at the last moment, someone from the Public Works Department needed something to get approved, so we ended up having just a quick special meeting.
Yeah.
So it's the work that drives the commission.
The work drives the commission.
The planning commission, for example, constantly has items that are, that need to be reviewed before them. A lot of times they're mandated by the state, or someone has a development question and it's pending. So they meet sometimes twice a month.
Mhm.
Most commissions, I shouldn't say most commissions, but the commissions that I'm familiar with often meet, maybe 8 times, 9 times, or 10 times a year. Historically, this commission has met 4 or 5 times, and that seems to be the right mix in terms of how much work is really necessary. Again, that requires this meeting.
Mhm.
Does that answer your question?
Well, I can make a suggestion. With 5 is okay, but in case there is some emergency thing that we need to meet more than 5 times, I think we should be able to do it. Okay.
Fine with that?
Okay, but that's not on this agenda item. So, because you've already adopted your schedule, I think it was at the last meeting.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so for this year, you're set for 5. Now, if something comes up,
And we've done that before, I remember.
yeah, where this commission needs to meet outside of its regular meetings,
Yeah.
then we host a special meeting.
Yeah,
And then we make sure that everyone is able to attend,
Yeah.
and we host.
And I'm going back to my original suggestion about the art component.
Yes.
Development. This is the place to,
This would be the place to do it, yes.
I think that's good.
so, as you mentioned, I think only it costs about $50,000 to $100,000 to also add art component is
Mhm.
development. Initiative or whatever it's called. So I'd like to put that in, so include that actually.
Okay, well, let me ask you something. So now don't think about the costs. Okay, because really what it sounds like you're asking for is to do a study. You are going to do some research about maybe what other libraries have done that you might think would benefit the Gilroy Library, and try to gather up some ideas,
Mhm.
right? So information gathering. And then you would present it at a future meeting, say, this is my findings.
Mhm.
And then you can begin to deliberate, oh, this would work. Oh, I don't think this would work. Oh, this would be a great idea. Then you start to kind of hone in exactly what you're looking for. And
Yeah.
then through that process, you'll be able to develop some sort of fee pricing,
Yeah.
that is going to come out.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do we have enough time for all that, or the construction will be done by the time we?
It's hard to say. I don't know if one is contingent on the other,
Yeah.
depending on what you're thinking about. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just thinking of my own facility right across the street here. Is if you were hanging up framed piece of art, putting some sort of public art display, I don't think it would impact the construction or the renovation, depending again on what degree you're looking at,
Except for the budgeting. Okay.
which is different, right? Yeah.
So that's what my concern is. If you don't allocate budget for it, then it won't happen.
Yeah.
People do it.
Um,
This is a good opportunity because this redevelopment is a good opportunity to add that component, build that component into it.
I hear what you're saying. So you're saying, since this is, what I hear you saying is, since this is our opportunity to ask city council for money for the next 2 fiscal years, we should ask now for that?
No. My thing is there is some budget allocated for this library.
Yeah.
So my proposal is, or my thinking is, we incorporate an item, budget item for an artistic component or exhibition component or display component in the development.
there are limitations, I think if I'm understanding you correctly, with regards to what can be funded through the construction. And I don't know if an art installation meets the criteria. But nevertheless, it is something that the commission, if they want to look into,
Yeah.
again, doing an information gathering,
We can put
And
that in our
then-
work plan.
figuring
Yeah,
out
we'll put it in the work.
what would
yes.
work best.
Yeah.
And I would start with, what do other libraries do?
Yeah.
Both inside and outside.
Yeah, let's put in the work plan and then in the next meeting, we can talk about it and maybe the meeting up. And if you, do you have some information? Do you have seen any library doing such a thing in the area?
So, library art is so varied. It really depends on the library, the community. It's very, most public art and libraries is very strongly tied to their community. So it's all very different. Like Hayward Library used to have this big, stained glass piece in their city hall, but it was also very, it was very divisive. So they took that piece down and then they transformed it to something else and they put it in the library. So it's very individual to the library and their community. I do see, there is a large art community in Gilroy. So even if it's not a singular piece,
Yeah.
the idea of public art or rotating galleries
Yeah,
or something that like that might be considered, might be something to consider, just because once the building's already kind of built, it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
now we're gonna put this big piece of art in here, so, but it is something to consider in terms of,
right.
I mean, public art is so varied based on, even in San Francisco, they have 27 libraries in San Francisco, and every library has, some sort of public art, and it's so different based on just, and those are within, sometimes even blocks of each other, right?
Yeah.
So,
So can we request to consult with library staff? If they have some ideas, collectively, we can come up with some ideas that we can present to the commission so we can
well, as
discuss that.
as part of your work plan, if it's data gathering, we can always assist you
Okay.
in that process, for sure, yeah.
I think we appreciate it.
We have an arts commission, correct?
Yes.
So another thought could be that we spend some time with getting with the Arts Commission, because on Monterey Road, there's a gallery, right? I forget what it's called.
There's Sixth Street and there's.
Yeah, there's
the
also the Gilroy
Exchange
Arts Alliance.
And
That-
Yeah,
that's
Center for Gilroy.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe we can tap into them for some ideas. So is it possible to have this on our agenda for the,
Well, this would be part of your work plan.
Yes.
If you want to, if you agree to incorporate this.
yeah, okay, and then, and so once
Which
it
is
be,
the study. It's
Which is the study.
The information gap.
the information gathering, and so is it possible to have it on our agenda each time we meet so that we can report on how the gathering is going and the
Yeah,
next step?
because if you
Okay.
recall, your work plan's consistently on your agenda.
Okay,
So it would just be part of that.
okay,
So when you report out, that would be.
when we report out, okay, perfect. So now I guess we have to figure out how to word. Do you have any thoughts? You have a background in art, don't you?
No, I don't.
You did, sorry.
Enjoy art, but
Yeah, you enjoy art, maybe you told me that.
We have got a word speaker to help us.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I think, this could be modified. It's not set in
Okay.
stone, but something like, I just wrote down a study of art installation, information gathering, and then, maybe your work is to, identify what other cities
I like
have
that,
done, and then again, report back.
that.
Yeah.
What do you think, you guys?
Yeah, so my thing it would be put, gather information about, what do we call it, art, not exhibition, displays, art display to go along with the capital improvement.
Yeah, and you said community a lot, that you want the art, that you're thinking of the art representing the community that we serve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, it would be either recognition of people who have served the community or
I like that,
recognizing a local artist displayed
Yeah.
their
that has community
yeah,
connections.
their work or various skill, or
Community
maybe to
inspired.
even this permanent display of the painting by kids for a particular occasion, like peace or whatever. So this can be also done. It doesn't need to be a fantastic artist. It could be even ordinary, very recognized. But
After the meeting downstairs, you can check out our tiny art gallery.
So essentially, we have place that when I enter the library, I enjoy that I'm seeing all this artistic display, whatever. It is.
Yeah,
That would really add more attraction to the library.
it is very therapeutic.
That's really the idea.
So regarding the rest of the work,
Yeah.
did you want to roll over these current items into your work plan, or did you want to kind of pick and choose?
What do you guys think? I think that we can continue to work and build on all of those things.
Yeah, except we need to change the date.
Yeah, we have to
Yes,
change the
yes,
dates.
Yeah, but you have, of course, you're requesting funds for training, so that would make
Yes.
sense to have that, yes.
The one that says number 3, promote the commission's purpose and library system to increase interest among prospective applicants, serve as commissioners and inform community of library commissions, or make us more and inform the community of the library commission's presence or visibility. And do we have to put in here signage, like developing signage?
No,
No,
that could be
okay.
the work.
That could be the work,
Yeah,
okay.
That could be the work. And then, of course, again, we're in the midst of this facility upgrades.
Right.
So it would make sense to leave that as well,
Okay,
since you're already doing it.
perfect. So I think, what do you all think?
So essentially, you'd be adding one new item.
One new item and just expanding the 3rd bullet.
Yes.
Okay,
Something, and I'm not sure if we are doing this. As far as understanding the programs and also being more visible, do we go to any of the programs that the library offer as a special guest or just participant to learn more about the programs and to represent the commission? Is that something that we can actively?
I remember the commissioners have done that in the past. I think they did children's story time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, so what can we do in our work plan to to
Incorporate that idea.
incorporate it, but then like, for example, we're on an email list. I don't know, for events that come specifically to us, or once a month, you guys send us, the commissioners, this is what's happening, if you want to participate. Then that gives us, yeah,
Or make it, I think I would like to, and I'll do this personally, but take it a step further and kind of obligate ourselves to be participants, not just receive
Absolutely.
information, but
yeah,
to make it part of, since we meet every other month, while we were absent or in between, I went to the ESL language, and this is what I learned about the program, and this is what I told them about the commission, and that way we can be active
Yeah.
and also learn more.
Yeah, I mean, so something that comes to mind is on the agenda, there is something called, on this, staff commission comments. That might be a good opportunity if you want to share. Is that what you mean? Like kind of share something relevant to being on the library commission or the Gilroy Library?
Even a little bit further, I want us to be involved
Yeah.
in the
To
library.
be
activities.
engaged.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
to represent the commission in the program.
we have done that once or twice, but now this is expansion you mentioned. Yeah, that would be, we can put actually in the work plan,
Yeah.
more involvement in the. And
Okay,
then
so
we are more
represent-
conscious of it.
Yeah.
So represent commission at library
events,
programs and events.
Programs, yeah. Exactly.
No, check.
Yeah, and you do, even in your packets, we always send the monthly, calendar. So
Yeah.
if you, and we usually get those out before, of course, before that month starts, so you can take a look, maybe even for March, when March calendar comes out, and you can see if there's any that fit with your schedule, if you'd like
Yeah.
to attend. And we could always introduce you, a story time again is always a really great option because, you know, it's a little more, interactive and
Yeah.
personal as opposed to just a general introduction, so they might get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
But always something to
That's good.
consider. I do like the idea of also, kind of cross-pollinating with, it was really nice to go to Parks and Recs Commission meetings.
Oh.
So, you know, if we're considering a study on public art, you know, going to
That's
the
good.
public art.
That's a good point.
So again, it gets your, it's a more tangible kind of like an
Right.
action item related to your work plan.
Right.
And then you introduce yourself to additional commissions for collaboration. So that might be another aspect of that. But please, any
Yeah.
program you'd like to come to,
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
please,
can make
please
Public
do. We'd love to introduce you to those things, you know, summer, we already have our summer programming kind of.
I can't believe we're talking about stuff.
I know, but you know, those are all opportunities when Storywalk gets installed, that's another opportunity, you
Yeah.
know, so there's in the next, you know, this next 6 months is gonna be a really fruitful time for making those connections and joining us for things. So please, anything you see on the calendar, please consider joining us because we'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
I have a couple of suggestions.
Sure.
So you update it every month, right? So this calendar of events.
Yeah, so every month there is a calendar. So do you have if you
Yeah,
see in your
I have it,
packet,
yeah.
there's a nice.
Yeah.
And actually, this is the next agenda item.
Oh, good.
It's called, this was, I think, requested at the last meeting, list of community events and
Yes.
activities by the Gilroy Library.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about this momentarily.
Yeah.
Okay, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I want to suggest that this calendar of event, if you can email it to us. And the second thing, if there is something specific that we can participate and contribute, like we need one of our commissioners to come to a particular event, just send us an email and then one of us.
Of course, you're on the
Right.
Rolodex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Right.
be.
If I get it,
All you have the time, Said.
if I get it by email, then I
Mhm.
look at it and there's something that I can contribute. It's more, I typically I don't go to the library to see what the calendar of events are, but if I get an email, then.
I'm an email
yeah,
person
yeah.
too.
So you should get an email. It's called our newsletter email, but I'll double check to make sure all of the commissioner
I think
emails have been
I get it
updated.
because I've been the library, I mean, not because of this, but just as being a parent. If you guys have like volunteer appreciation or staff appreciation, we could come and thank the staff and maybe bring flowers or something, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, right, we can on our own.
Yeah.
Is it possible, because I know the last mayor had said that she was gonna get, badges that say Gilroy Library Commission for all the commissioners, but we've never got them. Then that way we can wear them when we go to stuff and say, ask me about the commission. Like, no, you
Let me-
know,
Yeah, let me.
Yeah.
Look into it.
okay.
Uh,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we will be happy to participate in anything that you think you would be useful.
If you like it, I love it. It's all there.
Okay, so, we had a lot of discussion around this. You guys have anything else? Or you wanna? Do we need to make a motion?
Yeah, so it sounds like you have the current work plan you wanna roll over with and we'll make that addendum, to the promotional line item.
Mhm.
And then in addition, study of art installation, information gathering, identify what other cities have done and
Mhm.
report back. And then,
To go along with the development plan. So that's the idea. As she said, there's no point waiting for the construction to finish and then come up.
oh yeah, this is completely
Yeah.
independent of that. And then the last one is represent the commission at library programs and events, such as like a staff appreciation
Mhm.
or story time.
Can you put community before art, just so that we're acknowledging community?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and again, it could be modified
Okay,
on receipt.
And do we need to put on there the collaborations that we're looking to do with the other commissions, like the art commission? And I know we're looking to expand the teen center, like even meeting with the teen commission. to
Yeah,
get their-
so what I could do is just as an example, one of the work items might be to collaborate with the Arts and Culture Commission, to receive their feedback.
nice.
However, that would be extended, but yeah, we could get that on. And again, it's not set in stone, so at the next meeting, if you want to add, you want to edit, you want to modify, that's
Sounds good.
okay, but this looks good. I think it's very doable, given how many meetings you have and expectations. So if the commission wants to
Motion?
Yeah.
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the Library Commission work plan for fiscal years 2026 and 2027 as shared in the last 30 minutes of discussion.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Any abstains? No.
Okay,
Okay.
motion passes 3-0. Perfect. Okay, so the next item, I'm gonna turn it over to Cassandra. List of community events and activities by the Gilroy Library.
So,
Nice.
if you want to take a look in your handy dandy packet, this is the list for, I believe this is February's list.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and if you want kind of a, this one, it's not in that one, but
I love this, don't you want?
yeah, so you know what, everybody has a copy in theirs, but if you take a look, this is kind of, there's the big one that has everything.
Yeah.
And then there's your handy dandy kind of cheat sheet with your condensed Reader's Digest version. So, these are all opportunities for you all to join us. All of these are really great ones to consider. And there's there's things for kind of everybody, right? So just taking a look overall, there's things like our safe space meetings. There are all of our story times that are listed. Even programs like growing your own vegetables that's coming up this Saturday. Our book discussions might be nice ones to attend. Or even just saying hello at our ESL classes. It's kind of your dealer's choice as to what you're interested in.
Who leads this? Emergency preparedness?
The emergency preparedness workshop, I think this one is being done in association with Catholic Charities
Oh,
this year, but we do the one in September with the city.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. So again, there's opportunities to partner when the March calendar comes out. You could take a look and see if there's one you want to attend. And again, our big kind of program push is going to be, in June, July, and into August. So again, some things to consider. And as we have SVR going on now, there's lots of programs in that as well.
Mhm.
We just finished up most of our Black History Month programming. I think we have a concert still. Yeah. Mr. Boom Boom concert's coming. So that's a really fun one to attend. He does really great music. He kind of tracks the history of African American and Black American music and artistry
Nice.
kind of over time while he plays. So that's a really good one to attend. And then we have an artist talk as well. So just things to consider ever joining us. March is Women's History Month.
Mhm.
So we'll have programming around that. So if there's any of those things you'd like to attend, please let us know.
I see I've got Louis Shields here.
Yeah.
The art is going to move. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Artist, I missed that, what?
Louis Shields has art is going to move.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
So there's lots of cool, programming available. And that's on the 28th. So if you're interested in
Well, yeah, I was
Popping in,
gonna
popping
say
in
the
that one.
artist journey adults, yeah. You might on,
Artist talk with Louis Shields. Friday 20.
yeah, Friday the 28th. Do we need to vote on something?
No.
Okay. On that.
Just some
Thank you, Cassandra.
I'm done with
examples
voting.
of, yeah.
No, that was the most vote we've done. in a while. Thank God we have app here to go.
You know, it's nice to see it.
Did you miss us?
It was funny. And they pulled me back.
Thank you, Adam. We appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah. Okay, do you want to move on,
Oh, yeah.
to the county library report? And it's been a few months, so you've got
Yeah.
December, January, and February, which is why the packet is
Yeah.
so thick.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Is a lot, yes. So I realize my report looks a little forward, and most of these I know we're looking a little bit back in terms of our busy winter season. I'll bring your attention kind of to where we are now. Silicon Valley Reads kicked off on January 30th.
Mhm.
And this annual event for us is very exciting because it's something we do throughout the district. So we hold over 200 events, literally from libraries all over the county at different community spaces, and it really brings people together. So I
Yeah.
recently was speaking with another commissioner who shared that their book club read the book, and someone said, well, I didn't particularly like the book. However, what it did was engage in conversation.
Yeah.
And that's really the goal of Silicon Valley Reads. So yes, it does
Yeah.
introduce often new genres,
Right.
or, maybe you'll pick something up that you didn't before. But for us, it's about engagement, right? It's about
Right.
bringing people together around books. So this year's theme around AI, technology for a better world, very positive message, I think. Two, we will continue that programming through the end of March. And so I encourage you certainly to attend that. In honor of Silicon Valley Reads, I would like to share one of our exciting kind of digital resources. And so in honor of SVR, I wanted to point out Treehouse to you, which is a digital platform where if you're interested in learning coding, you can just log on online 24/7 and have access to those kind of classes. So it's always so interesting because we just have such a breadth of different things that really, of course, it's, at your own pace.
Yeah.
And that digital learning platforms that I really think are easy to use. So
Safe
You
learning,
just need your library.
safe
card.
learning
yeah,
coding,
yes.
the AI based or just, is it AI based or?
No, it is not. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So Cassandra already told you a little bit about the events that were happening here. And I always want to point out the amazing book displays that are throughout our libraries. And that's really what brings our library to
yeah.
life, right? Again, and particularly for Black History Month, we have new book lists on our website that are about Black jazz musicians and chefs. So it's always nice to, again, kind of our librarians really deep dive into things and make sure that we're promoting the collections that we have, and as well, of course, as the events. So over the next few months, you will start to see some changes throughout the district in our children's spaces. So I think I think maybe it was the November report back, now that we're looking back. Storybook SCCLD is about evolving our children's spaces to be, I would say, active spaces of learning, right? Of really making sure that families and children have a place to come together to build the skills that children need to be good readers, to be good learners, and really to socialize. I mean, that's what we're learning. I know we've heard the information nationally, and here in South County, we know that half the kids at third grade are not reading at grade level.
Yeah.
So what can we do, right, as community partners to create those spaces? So I believe, what's your last date, Cassandra, for closing the children's room?
March 17th.
March
March
17th.
17th.
So we'll close the rooms for about 6 weeks, which sounds like a really long time, but I promise we'll buzz by very quickly. The team here is already going to move collection to other spaces. They're definitely mitigating so that it won't be, too dry. You'll be able to still
Yeah.
get some books. There's just not as much space available. You've noticed that the space has already changed over the
Yeah.
last 8 months. And so when the space opens, you will see that it will have transformed into this very special learning environment that has space for active play, it has reading nooks. So we're very excited. And we're working with vendors, it's museum quality. Like we really wanted a free space focused on literacy that was also very joyful. So
That's awesome.
we
I
have,
like the
yeah, so we'll have a grand opening event. So I know that will be something that we'll love to have you guys a part of.
That's
I think there's
beautiful.
big scissors involved. No, I'm
Yeah.
not-
It's for everybody. Is there a way to capture what it is or what it was to what it's?
We
It's
are
not
keeping,
good.
a lot
Okay.
of photos. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's beautiful
yes.
to share that.
So we're very excited about that. And just on the side of kind of business end of things, so our library district, Cassandra, runs from Los Altos down to Gilroy. So we
Yeah.
represent different communities.
Mhm.
Our goal though is really to create these environments in all of our libraries. So they
Nice.
look different. So they're unique, but at the same time with the same goals of serving your community the very best way we can. I am happy to report that this year, our JPA delegate from the county is actually your supervisor, Sylvia Arenas. So she is now serving on the library JPA as well, and a huge advocate for Gilroy always.
Yeah.
So we're happy to have her
That's
join our
awesome.
Joint Powers Authority Board that meets quarterly as well. So those are just a couple highlights for me. I'm
Thank
always happy to
you.
answer any questions, of course, or turn it over to Cassandra for more of your local news.
Great job.
So we'll keep, working out.
I have a question.
Yes.
Looking at these events, for Gilroy Library, this is all December events. So this is just a report of what happened.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
so we get sent on the first of every month what is coming up for that month. But since you haven't had a meeting since November, we included the last 3 months.
But it's only December. I don't see anything else.
Oh no, this should be December,
packet.
January,
It's in
February.
February.
Oh.
No, I'm looking especially for
Online.
Gilroy Library here.
This-
This one. This is all December events.
Oh,
Don't see
okay.
anything in January.
Oh, there is. So this is all December and then. the
Oh, okay,
next
it goes
one-
to that.
It-
Okay,
it-
got it.
And then it
it's by
restarts.
month.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
And then
yeah,
it's January.
Very good.
it's by total month,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
another
Yeah,
one
very,
here.
very, very good.
See, it starts again. Here's January.
Sorry for that.
Okay, so we're trying something a little different. I usually put together a slideshow and we look at all
I
the
love
things.
I love your slideshow.
I know, I'm trying to embrace change and embrace new ideas. We are working on this really cool, kind of digital dashboard to help us really drill down statistics and to give you very granular and also larger overall
Yeah.
attendance things. So just, kind of things to think about. So, this is kind of a breakdown of some programming that we had by age group.
The number on the top, this is for a period, 53 and
So this is for, I believe, the last year.
that, yeah, okay.
So just kind of an idea of what we're doing. And, again, this is kind of a broader view, but I kind of wanted to bring it just to your attention that like, this number is very,
Yeah.
not, it's not small potatoes in kind of what we're doing here. So it's just kind of, I wanted to give you more of a broader view of the type of programs we do. Just kind of a wider look, because I know sometimes when we're talking about this, I'm just giving you a number. We did this many programs and this how many people came. So at least here you can get a little more of a view of kind of, you know, our class visit and how many kids come and again, a different class visit. So just kind of ideas on what things we have going on overall. Like this one, this was a very specific one. So this is, borrowers by location. So this is specifically for our location. This is looking at year over year. So here you have the years are color coded,
Right.
and then you have borrower count by year. So again, trending, how do we do month over month, year over year? It just kind of gives you a bit of an idea of where we're at,
Would
right?
if looking at that, COVID was 2021, right? Oh, I can't remember when it was.
2020.
2020, so it was, yeah, that's what, yeah. So there, yeah, I got you. And then now for February, it's over 4,000.
So again, we're very close to, and again, I'm still learning how to run these reports. You don't see January in here. So it's, or I'm sorry, you see where January is at, and because February statistics weren't added, it went.
Oh, that's January. Okay, I
Yes.
got you.
So
Okay.
this is showing for January here, and we're,
Over 4,000.
yeah, so we're right about where we were. And then again, it's kind of interesting to see the trends where we traditionally have drops.
Yeah,
Right?
where
Like,
we have drops.
like
Okay.
right around April and May, June, again, during the summertime, we stay really strong.
Right,
We drop again a little bit around July, you know, right when people are going on vacations, and then back again up through when we have schools. Again, I just kind of wanted to show you some data over.
Cassandra, this number of borrowers, how do you count borrowers? So if I borrow two books, is counted as two or counted?
No, these are, borrowers are individual borrowers who
Okay.
have come in to the library to check something out.
A patron.
So
Okay.
patrons.
Okay.
That's
Can you
true.
go back one slide? So you had the list of, oh, okay. So these are looks good numbers except for public speaking,
2 people.
2 people. So that's.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
But I figured, well,
Yeah, so again, like, we
Yeah.
gotta try and stuff.
So
So
we
we chose masters. It's public speaking, so again, how do we take a look at that number and then we say, was it the time? Was it
yeah,
the
good.
topic?
point.
Was it location? I mean,
Yeah.
is this something that's better done as a library program that we're doing outreach at and presenting somewhere else?
Yeah.
So again, all data is kind of, I'm a firm believer that all data is good data because
Yeah.
all data helps us make.
But
Absolutely.
please,
That was at 8 AM.
yeah, maybe that's the time is the issue.
Yeah,
It was not at 8 AM.
that's when the.
Oh, the because
Yeah, when not.
But Cassandra, please don't drop that because public speaking is important, even if you have.
It is too.
Of
we
course,
Keep the program and try to
yes.
increase the participation.
So again, we have a discussion about it. How many
Yeah.
people came, you know. You know, I have very hard. So just for that access available. Kind of showing more of this data. It's kind of drilled down, you know, there's always been a discussion about change over time and over year.
Yeah,
So again, just kind of discussions about these overall numbers, right? So individual borrowers, 2020, right? During the pandemic, we had 9,000.
wow.
And simply since then, it's gone up 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. So it's always an upward trend. We're already trending about the same as 2024, you know. So again, just a new way to show you information and discuss it. That I'm hoping is going to be helpful when we have our discussions about like what the library is actually doing. Because I feel before I was giving you numbers, but to see it kind of like this is really interesting and to see change over time and where, you know, there are months where we have dips. How do we combat that? Like, how are we changing what we're doing in those times? So just so you can see kind of in real time, how the data backs up what we do.
So library, the borrowing is not the only indication of what library does. So you have a lot of services, storytelling, whatever.
Yeah,
Do you have a way of counting, or even the passport services? Do you have a way of counting the participation of the services and add them to the number?
Yeah, so like that's that kind of analytical, like just data portion,
Okay.
right? On this day, we have this many people come in, they checked out this many books. And the part where I'm able to give you this kind of anecdotal or kind of those personal stories is when people like Daniel come in, or when you go to programs.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're able to discuss more about like how much attendance has changed,
right,
or individual stories, like that's the part, it's all things, right? It's not just the data,
Right.
it's not just the anecdotal stories, it's how those two mesh together.
right,
So the idea is to bring you, you know, very real, concrete data. So 77% of our checkouts, you know, in the library here, not counting ebooks and e-audio through our platforms, it counts for 77%. We do. You could even, you know, see it's broken down, like we still have a lot of DVD checkouts, you know, probably more than most libraries. So again, it's just kind of a larger breakdown of what we do, what we check out, what we circ, things like that. Juvenile circ, again, it makes up a huge portion. So 2/3 of our circulation is children's material, children's items.
and that's up to age 18, 17?
Juvenile books, I believe, teen is not.
Teen.
Right.
And it's the item.
Okay.
so it-
It's,
It's an item, okay, so, okay, that's a lot. This is making me think of, did I get a library survey email that
yeah,
I was like, did do it, so, and that was what, 2 months ago, or might have been longer, it might have been last
It
year.
was in November.
It was November, okay.
And you'll be hearing from us on the
Nice,
results of that this
okay,
spring.
perfect, thank you.
yeah, so again, you don't receive them. But again, so just some more ideas. I mean, it can get very granular. Right now, you know, when are we searching them, right?
Yeah,
In the full categories, like, oh, so that's a cool one.
yeah, what are the park passes?
So this is when we check out,
Yeah.
the park passes that
Oh,
are
yeah.
available. You can see the California State one and the county one.
Nice,
So, you know, this is where we're at. This is where we kind of peaked in 2023, and then, you know, we're kind of going this way.
Mhm.
And again, we're creating, there's been a lot more usage, but then as we get into the colder buds, it's going down. But, so just some ideas.
Nice,
And then of course,
So what are passes is different from library card?
so you can check out a park pass.
yeah. You know about that? Oh.
I'll show you.
Okay. You can.
So you can check out a county,
Free.
Mhm. a county park pass, and you can go to on a state park pass.
Yeah.
Or the state of California.
Okay.
And both those things we hope to kind of pilot shit.
Great, you guys.
Okay, so fun stuff, we'll just do a few of these real quick.
Oh, awesome. See.
So, one of our story times here, this is Rosa, you met her at our last commission meeting.
Mhm.
One of our newer librarians. This is our beginner music class.
Wow.
This is Juan, who you've also met. He's he's a library assistant here. He's
Yeah,
finishing up library
yeah.
stuff very soon.
Good for him. Yes.
So, a wonderful, person who really
Always
cares about the
engaged.
community, very
Yes, he's
engaged.
always engaged.
This is him doing our beginner, music lab class.
So awesome.
Again, our doodle program for teens, stress relief, our reading buddies.
They read to the dogs. Wait, do they read to the dogs or the dogs read to them? I just was saying.
So, if you haven't, my dogs are now getting trained to be on back.
Wow.
Standby. So,
He is so cute. Oh my God, he's a dog.
yeah, so this was our puppet show that we did for Lunar New Year. This is when we had a class visit. The preschoolers came and sorted books. They watched the machine and they watched everything went and they cheered when it dropped their
Sword book.
their cart here. Again, we do so many class visits. I
Yeah.
believe Special class visits or the preschool class visits, we see regularly 90 students a week in class. They come every Monday and Wednesday.
That's beautiful.
Again, our color STEM programming. We had our Lunar New Year programming with our line dancers. This was our New Year's Eve party, our balloon drop. And then just a wonderful like atmosphere, right?
Oh, gosh.
So again, so lucky, and it's so much fun. So again, so there's very hard data. This is we checked out. There's these fun stories, so you can see it in
It's
many
awesome.
colors. So need a little bit of both, right?
Yes. It's like the library is a big classroom with no homework, no, you don't have to stay if you don't want to, you got.
I have a suggestion for the library in this classroom with the very good.
Sure.
So, can you have a program like librarian for a day? So we might come in with the especially youth become librarian for a day.
Well, we do class visits, they do kind of see what we do, but yeah, that's something to consider, maybe for some emerging adults.
Yeah.
They can come by and see what we do.
And then let us say
Yeah.
high school, okay. Like, program, like,
Oh,
Get it.
I would absolutely love it. Our profession only grows when people see what we do and I love it.
Absolutely. Yep, I'm always talking about the library.
Okay, well, let me give it a shot. I'll
Okay.
let you know.
Right.
I'll let you know what they say.
Okay, so, let's see, unfinished business, thank you very much for those reports. So unfinished business, do we have,
Actually, we're on number 11, staff commission comment.
perfect, staff commission comments? No comments, future agenda items? No,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, so we'll have the work plan.
Yeah.
And then I'll send you out what goes into the budget input based on.
thank you so much, Adam, it was a pleasure having you guide us, and now we're adjourning at 8:40,
Before we adjourn, I'd like to
8:38.
thank,
8:38,
I'd like
thank
to
you.
thank Adam and librarian.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you for hanging with us.
Hey,
Yeah,
thanks for making it on.
I was like, I got you. And she had work from home on Wednesdays, but we had a training.
Oh, I thought, oh, San Mateo.
Yeah.